Hello, class. This is the first of our accounting cycle segment videos. So we're going to walk through several videos that is an introduction to what is accounting, how accounting is supposed to work, the basics of accounting, the tools that we use in accounting, the guidebook that we use to help us to maintain and operate accounting, and then we get deeper into different transactions, all of which makes up the full accounting cycle. So let's get started. All right. So, what is the purpose of accounting? Financial accounting has been called the universal language of business, so that would make sense, right? And it would also make sense that all business professionals be fluent in accounting. Unfortunately, there is a common misconception that only finance and accounting professionals need to be familiar with the accounting concepts. But I am here to tell you that financial accounting is a critical business skill for all professionals. So, whether you're in paralegal studies, you're in nursing, English, um, what else is there? There's history. You need accounting, if not for your discipline for a degree, but definitely as a U.S. citizen who is obligated to pay taxes, who at some point in time in your life will be subject to loans, banking, financing of some sort, whether it be through a credit card or, as I said earlier, through some sort of loan. You need to know how the financial world works using the language of business, which is accounting. So, yes, accounting is for everyone. And here are six brief benefits of taking an accounting course. And the list goes way beyond this one, but these are the ones that I think are most important, what I call my soapbox comments. And so, by taking an accounting class, whether you're meaning to go into business or not, you will manage your finances more effectively on a personal level. You will gain understanding of current events. Long gone, hopefully, should be when you're watching local or national or global news and you're not understanding what the markets are doing or how something taking place in another country halfway around the globe impacts us, and what are some of the terminologies that are used and thrown around very loosely in the media that have heavy weight to the you and me's of the world and our ability to pay our bills and accumulate wealth. You will make more meaningful contributions to your work because you understand the budget, you understand how money is working, you understand the costs of things, and anytime, anywhere you understand costs and you can follow the costs to the money or the activity that is utilizing a lot of resources, you will be pat on your back and you will be acknowledged for your smarts. Guarantee it. You will be primed for entrepreneurial success in this day and age. Having some sort of side hustle or second job or part-time job is almost essential. So that part, and what better than to sell something on Etsy or Facebook Marketplace or Instagram or TikTok store. We all have some skill or thing that we can sell and consistently or just infrequently, and being able to manage that well is definitely a skill that you want to have. You will have career advancement opportunities. So on your job, again, every job incurs costs. And if you're able to directly or indirectly manage costs, minimize costs, but increase quality of service or product, man, advancement there for you. You will improve your decision making and critical thinking capabilities because you are going to start asking more questions and start saying a lot more, that's interesting. That's interesting. As you should. As you should. And so that foundation or that curiosity is intelligence. And so I want you to get curious about how the world works around you. I want you to ask questions of me, of what's going on, and don't just accept the status quo. Question everything. That is a green flag for a high level of intelligence. All right. So the future of accounting is still being written, but at the present moment, AI is a big thing. Now, I will say this based on my accounting and business community, we are excited for AI. There are others outside of the community that have been very vocal in regards to AI, but for the accounting business community, we love it. And the reason is that we don't feel as if it's going to replace our jobs because there's a level of intelligence and the human factor that just cannot be replaced by AI, but it definitely makes us more productive. It enhances our skills and able to meet goals and outcomes clearly, efficiently, and enhances the profitability of any company that we work for. And so we love it. So accountants are consistently ranked among top professionals in terms of future demand and earnings. We are recession proof, meaning that even when the markets go down and people are not spending, everybody still needs accountants. That is not going away. And so it is a recession proof job, and we're not going anywhere anytime soon. Accountants will be needed to develop advanced AI systems and to analyze results. Um, the future of accounting will be influenced by AI, which is artificial intelligence, and the top skills that are taking place now but are advancing very quickly is AI, being able to generate AI prompts, so AI engineering, AI development, data analytics, data visualization using Tableau or Power BI, programming, Python, and Excel, which is huge. I encourage all students to get that skill. There's a lot of free resources on the internet that you can bring those two together. Many of my colleagues across the nation have incorporated that into their courses, and it's my intent to do the same within the next 3 to 6 months. And so I'm really excited about that so that students can have an actionable skill, an active skill, a tangible skill of being able to use AI and Python in Excel. And data security has always been there, but it is a huge part of what we do now. Even if you're in tax accounting, we have to secure our clients' data as we're submitting and downloading information. And so we have to have all sorts of encryption and all the things there in order to protect our interests and our clients' interests as we're working on their taxes. So that's just a very small example there. Different opportunities, the horizon or the opportunities are endless. Yes, there are the typical accounting professions, but there are way more than that. You can work for the FBI, you can forensic accounting, litigation, entrepreneur underwriters for loans and notes and banks. Oh man, the it's just endless. So take your pick. You're not pegged to just sit at a computer and a laptop 8 hours, 8 to 9 hours a day. You can do way more than that and make good money and have a recession proof job, meaning you're usually accountants are the last on the list to get let go. We'll get rid of programmers. We'll get rid of the engineers. We'll get rid of middle management. We'll get rid of sales so fast. But the accountants usually the last on the list to go. We'll get rid of HR. We'll get rid of everybody. All that can be outsourced, contracted and outsourced. But not really accountants. Um, yeah, so just saying. And this is why you see a lot of older adults not have retired as accountants because they can literally work on into their 70s and their 80s, and many of them have and still are. Because, as I said, you don't get let go, you just retire. Or, yeah, that's usually how that works. All right, so big question here. What is accounting? Is it math? Is it the language of business, or is it something else? What does accounting do for business? What is the purpose of accounting? Well, I can tell you first and foremost, accounting, the best definition that I found and that I support of what is accounting is an information and measurement system that identifies, records, and communicates business activities. Yes, in some textbooks and some arenas, we would call it the lifeblood of business, the language of business. But because of technology and the capacity of accounting to be so much more than a language, which it is, the best way that fully um, envelops or surrounds or covers what accounting is would be it's a system. It's an information and measurement system that identifies transactions in the business. It records the transactions of the business so I can retrieve it later on and generate reports and communicate that information with the external and internal users based on the business activity. So it is an information and measurement system. What guides accounting? What guides it? Well, many things guide it, but the basics of what guides accounting are what we call the generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP. Why? So the information that accounting collects and reports is relevant and faithfully represented. Well, what does that mean? That sounds like some old words. Yeah, Google it. Ask chat what it is. But basically, when information is relevant, it means that it has a level of importance to the users so that they can make good business decisions. And when something is faithfully represented, it means that the information is accurate and it accurately reflects business transactions. So let's take a look at this gap, this GAAP. Here we can see that GAAP is made up of principles, a number of principles, a number of assumptions, and a number of constraints. For the purposes of this class at this time of this recording, I'm only going to go over some of these. There are way more things that are listed here in this video, but I'm going to go over the basic ones that are tried and true and used multiple times. And so here we can see that of the principles that we could cover, we're covering four, which is the measurement principle, the full disclosure principle, revenue recognition, and expense recognition. Of the assumptions that we're covering, we are going to cover four, which is the going concern assumption, the monetary unit assumption, the time period assumption, and the business entity assumption. And of the constraints that we cover, we are going to talk about cost benefit analysis or the cost benefit constraint. But then underneath of that, we do have the materiality constraint. And there was one more in this area, conservatism. So we will cover two additional ones for the constraints.